Okay, students, now that you've had a chance to finish your thesis statement, we're ready to move on to either your similarities paragraph or your differences paragraph. It doesn't really matter to me which one you decide to write first. I've chosen for today to do the similarities paragraph first. So the first place that you'll begin is going to be with your thesis statement. So I want you to jump back over to your thesis statement part of your template and look for the part where you wrote about your similarities. So here in my thesis statement, my language says, although they bear some minor similarities. So that's actually where I'm going to begin for my topic sentence. And I'm going to use very, very similar phrasing to this thesis statement right here. Later on, if I decide I want to go back and revise, I can. But for now, since I know that we're still working on learning the skill of writing for comparison and contrast, I think it's a really good idea to stick with the same language, just to reemphasize this point to our reader. So my language says, although they bear some minor similarities. So I'm going to come back over here and begin on my topic sentence. And of course, we know this is going to be the start of a paragraph. So I'm going to come on over and indent, and I will say, the play and the story bear some minor similarities. And that's how I'll begin this paragraph. Now at this point, I am going to have to stop with this content because it's not okay for me to give you ideas. I can help you out with your organizational structure, but I'm not allowed to help you with the ideas. That would be bad on my part. So I'm actually going to switch over and I'm going to start talking about Mellow Yellow and Mountain Dew. And if you haven't already done so, I want you to get out this sheet of paper that should be located in your folder, and your focus for this whole paragraph is going to be right up here at the top. You should have a whole bunch of stuff listed that you noticed was the same between Flowers for Algernon, the short story, and Flowers for Algernon, the play. So this is really where you guys are going to be focused. I have some similarities listed between Mellow Yellow and Mountain Dew that I'm going to put down on mine as well, and that'll be the next part of my paragraph. So I wanted to share with you guys this great website where you can have some sentence frames that you can use to help you figure out how you want to structure your sentences down below. So let me jump on over and I want to share with you that site. So you'll notice right here, if you go to your Google Classroom link, you will have this compare and contrast vocabulary link, and it has some amazing structures here for sentence frames and then also just some really good transition words. Obviously, our focus on the similarities paragraph is going to be here on this compare function. So any of these words that you have listed under the vocabulary side will work really well for your transition words. And if you find that you're stuck on how to phrase it and you're not really sure what you want to say, try using some of these sample sentence frames, and I bet that you'll find that those can dig you out of a hole if you're not really sure how it is you want to say that the play and the short story are similar. So I'm going to jump back over and I'm going to start working right now on my similarities and differences between Mountain Dew and Mellow Yellow. So for me, I'm no longer talking about the play and the story. I'm going to be talking about Mountain Dew, and I'm going to use MD for that, and Mellow Yellow here. So my new topic sentence says Mountain Dew and Mellow Yellow bear some minor similarities. And then I'm just going to keep going from here. The first similarity is definitely their color. They are both comprised of yellow number 5. Okay, so this is one of those right here, both, is one of those transition words that you'll notice that's listed on that other website that works really well for talking about similarities. But the thing is, I can't just list stuff right here. If I'm actually going to write a paper, I need to tell my reader a little bit about why this is important. The same thing is true for you. If you're doing yours on the play and the story, and you're talking about how they have some similarities, and you say, well, they're both about Charlie, they're both about Algernon, they both have a teacher named Miss Kinnian, then that's just a list of stuff. That's not really telling what you know about the subject that you're writing about. So your job right now is to show off that you understand why those things are important. So instead of just telling my reader, well, they're both comprised or made up of yellow number 5, I want to tell my reader why that's important. So I might say something like, that's important, or that's a big deal. A big deal because yellow number 5 has been banned in some countries. Because it's not very good for you. And that makes me super sad because, as you guys know, Mountain Dew is one of my favorite things in the whole wide world to drink. So this makes me a little bit nervous, but I guess they haven't banned it in the United States yet. So hopefully I don't have to worry too much about that. So now what I'm going to go through and do is list 2 more similarities and then explain why I think those things are important. Here's what I want to remind you about while you are writing the rest of your similarity paragraph. First of all, in your similarity paragraph, explain why the similarities you noticed are important. So why do we care about those things? What makes them important? What do you know about your content? Make sure that you pick 3 similarities. You should have a huge list of them from this sheet. So pick any of the top 3 that you think are the most important. You don't have to do all of them, just the 3 that you think are most important. Use compare words in your sentences, words like both, similarity, the same, alike. And then if you need to, use those sentence frames if you are stuck with how you want to phrase something. All right, I am going to pause the video and I will come back and I will share some more with you just as soon as I have written the rest of my paragraph.